If you're just starting out on Upwork, this is what you need to do today, literally before anything else. And that is, drumroll please, you need to get a 100% complete profile. You can check your profile percentage right on the homepage, right below your photo. And if yours is not at 100% yet, stop what you're doing and let's take care of that. And if it is at 100%, please still watch this video because I know we can always improve our profiles, myself included. Now, according to Upwork, there are 4 things that are required to get you the first 50% of completeness on your profile. Without those, you'll never get to 100%. And you'll have to excuse me, but I have my notes right here so I can reference them and I don't forget any of them for you. So these 4 things are your profile picture, your profile overview, so the profile copy, the body of your profile, your employment history, and your skill tags. And obviously, you can add anything to these sections just to make it count. But if you want to take Upwork seriously, you want to put some effort into it. For example, for your profile picture, it's important to clearly show your face, and a smile doesn't hurt. You also want to look professional, but that doesn't mean you need to have a suit and tie on. To be honest, mine just has a turtleneck t-shirt that I have, and I think it looks polished. You tell me, I'll have it somewhere right here on the screen. And you also want to have a clear background. Now, this doesn't need to be white. As you can see from mine, it is not. I love color. I love making fun content. So I think that kind of speaks for my brand. And it's easier to stand out as well. Now, for your overview, this is probably the part that's going to take the longest, so I would highly encourage you to block off 1 or 2 hours in your calendar in this next week or so and really dive into this, because I encourage you to, first of all, do research on your client, on other freelancers that offer a similar service, so you kind of know the common words that are used, the common words that a client uses for the job title, how they reference the need that they have, everything like that. You want to do a deep dive into all of that so you know everything there is to know about your service and your client. You also want to learn what the problem is that you solve, like where you come into the client's business, and really focus on that. Your profile overview should focus more on the problem you solve than in your background. That comes with the portfolio and the testimonials. And on that note, you should try to write more about the client than about yourself. I know it's tempting to say how great you are, but it's better to show them how great you are than it is to brag about yourself. And the client wants to know how your greatness will help them, and not just how great you are. Hope that makes sense. For the skill tags, they actually just require you to add 1, but I would recommend adding every single one that you can, and that is relevant to your profile and your service. You can start typing in something and see what comes up as a suggestion and then add anything that's relevant. Simple as that. Now, those are the requirements that you need to have, the non-negotiables, if you will. But if you want to get to 100%, you need a couple more things. So the first thing being a portfolio. This is just great for adding profile percentage, but also to show your clients what you actually can do. You actually get 5% for each portfolio item that you add, up to 20%. So if you add 4, you get 20%. If you add 5, you still get 20%. I recommend you have at least 3 things here just to make it look complete, because the preview shows 3 portfolio items. And these can be, if you've never worked with a client before, these can be for beta clients, personal projects, school projects even. It doesn't have to be paid work to be in your portfolio. And if you really don't have anything, put your hands to work and create something just for fun that you can use as an example. So let's say if you are like a logo designer, you can maybe ask ChatGPT to create a brand for you so you can create a logo for that brand. Or you can, I think there's a website, I'll put it right here on the screen if I can find it, that gives you mock freelancer projects, so you can try that as well. Or you can just make up some weird brand in your own mind and make a logo for that. All of those count as portfolio pieces and will help build trust and credibility with your clients. Now, next up, you want to add your employment history. And again, if you have more to add, please show it off. I personally never had a real life job, so all I have in here is freelancer since 2013 to now. So it's a little bit lame, but that was all I could do. And what I usually say about employment history is I wouldn't add it to your overview. So once again, it's one of those things that it's talking about you and your background. And I don't feel it's relevant for your overview unless it's directly related to your service. But definitely add it in the respective section at the bottom of your profile. And this can give you 10% for each employment history item that you add. Again, up to 20%. Next up, we have additional skill tags. So remember how back in the necessary part, I told you that you want to add as much as possible. So if you've done that, you don't need to worry about it now. And whether you add 1 or 10 additional tags, you always get 10% for that. But like I said before, once again, add all that you can. It helps with search and it won't hurt. So don't be lazy, just add anything that you can. Now, similar to the employment history, we have education. So you can add your education here. So where you went to high school and college and all that kind of stuff. And again, I wouldn't talk about this in your overview unless it's super relevant, but you should definitely add it to the respective section. And if you add it here, you get, you guessed it, 10% for each one you add. Again, up to 20%. Now, I'm not doing the math. I'm not keeping track of these. So maybe my editor can add at the top how much we have completed of our profile already. We might be at 100%. But again, let's keep going because the more you add, the more complete your profile will be. Not from a math standpoint, but just from a client looking at your profile standpoint. So next up is my favorite video. This is my favorite thing to talk about. If you've seen any of my videos before, you'll know this. And I know many freelancers, probably you are in the same boat. They skip it because they're shy or they don't know what to say or English isn't their first language. And trust me, I have all those excuses not to make a video, but still I show up and I do that because I know it's powerful and it helps you connect with clients. Believe it or not, I have anxiety. I know it's hard. Like, video doesn't always come easy to me. I know, hard to believe, right? Yeah, like I said, this is the best way to build trust with the clients. So definitely consider it. It can be something super quick, like 1 to 2 minutes max. I definitely don't recommend you go above that because clients are busy, so you don't want to make them waste their time. And you can record it totally on a phone. Like, I'm recording this on my phone right now. It doesn't have to be fancy. It just needs to tell the client who you are and what you're all about and how you want to help them. So kind of a shortened version of your profile overview. I'll actually link my video right there in the cards in case you want to watch it for inspiration. But next up, let's talk about your linked account. So this one was one that confused me a little bit, I'll be honest. I believe this is something you can add in your settings. So I'll try to show on the screen where you can add that. You can link your Twitter, your GitHub, your Dribbble, and a couple other things. And honestly, if you're already at 100%, I wouldn't bother with this. I think I have Twitter link, but I'm not even positive about that. So yeah, definitely the optional one in the bunch. Now, this one's important, certifications. I know Upwork now has a integration with Credly, and they always put it in the banner at the top. So if you have some Credly accredited certifications, definitely add those here. But these essentially give you more credibility in your field. So if you have any, definitely add them here. They're worth 5% each for a total of 10. So if you have taken any online courses that give you a certificate or anything like that, bundle that up and add them in here. Now, last but not least, we have other experience. This is more of a random catch-all area of your profile. I personally don't have anything in mind, but you can add like volunteer work, something you've been featured in, anything like that. And it gives you a total of 5%. Now, if you want to learn the step-by-step on how to get clients on Upwork, spoiler alert, it's not just your profile. I'll have my freelance level up course linked down below so you can go ahead and check it out. I pretty much designed it to help you avoid the mistakes that I did when I first started out, and that made me lose a shit ton of money. So you can get your first client much faster. And by the way, with that first client, you should be getting your money back and then some, as I try to make it super affordable for you all. If you really don't like the course, within 30 days you can ask for a full refund and no questions asked. So click the link below to learn more, and I'll see you inside.